Autoboxing and auto unboxing. What is autoboxing? What is auto unboxing? Okay, we are going to explore. So now, see. Right. So now, I think already we know, right? All the wrapper classes, right? So now, let's suppose if I take integer I is equal to 10. Is it valid or invalid? Okay.
Yeah, valid.
So now, until 1.4, it is invalid, guys. Because 10 is what? Primitive value, right? Here integer is which type? It's a primitive type or reference type?
Reference type.
Reference type, because integer is what? Wrapper class.
Wrapper class.
Am I right? So what is the data type of I here? Class name, right? Integer is what? Class name. So now I is what? Reference variable, reference type, right? So integer is what? Reference type. So now I'm trying to assign primitive value to whom now? Reference type. So can we assign primitive value to reference type? We cannot assign. Until 1.4, if you are trying to assign like this, we will get compile time error. Understand? But in 1.5, okay, so Java people introduced auto boxing and auto unboxing. Okay, so now if you assign 10 value to this integer I, it will be valid, okay, after JDK 1.5 version. Okay, so now as part of JDK 1.5 version, Java people introduced what, guys? Auto boxing and auto unboxing. Okay, so directly we can assign primitive values to wrapper class reference variables. Okay, I mean wrapper class reference variable. So now directly you can add, okay, wrapper object to primitive. I mean we can convert primitive to object also, we can convert object to primitive also, we can convert. So I think already we know, right? Already we discussed those methods, right? Value of method, triplex value method. Come on. Parse triplex methods, toString methods, right? So we completed all those things, right? So now by using these methods, we can convert what? Primitive to wrapper, wrapper to primitive. Okay. So now until 1.4 version, we cannot provide primitive value in the place of wrapper object and wrapper object in the place of primitive. Okay. All required conversations should be performed explicitly by the programmer. Am I correct? See, example, see here. Okay. So now let me take, right? So now, okay, we can take the same example. Now see, integer I is equal to 10. Okay, if we assign like this, what will happen? We will get compile time error. So how to assign 10 value to this integer I? How to assign? Integer I is equal to new integer. There is a constructor, right? 10.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right? So this is the way. So what is the other way? What is the other way? Come on, we completed all these things. Integer dot
ToString method.
toString value of method, right? Convert primitive to wrapper. What is the method? Value of method,
Value of.
right? So now by using these two approaches, okay, we can create what? Wrapper object with the primitive value. Am I right? So now all these operations who has to perform? Developer has to perform. Okay, then only the 10 value we can assign to whom now? Integer I. Come on. So this is the valid. If you do like this, then only it will be valid until 1.4. Come on, guys. Understand what I'm saying here?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sir.
Okay, right. So now, Okay. So in the same way, if you take one more example, like see Boolean, okay, b is equal to new Boolean. Okay. So now here let me add true. Okay. If I print system.out.println of b, what is the output here? If b now Boolean b1 equals to here b, right? B dot Boolean value. This is one scenario. Okay. Now I'm taking one more scenario now. Here see Boolean b1 is equal to b dot Boolean value. Okay, this is what? Triple X value method, right? So now if b, okay, now if you see the first example here, Boolean b is equal to new Boolean of true. Okay, now if b, then I'm taking what? One block of, okay, one if block. So is it valid? Come on, guys.
Yes, sir.
No, you tell me until 1.4. I'm asking until 1.4. Okay. So if you see, if you execute this piece of code until 1.4 version of JDK, we will get compile time error. What is the compile time error we will get? Incompatible type. Found java.lang.boolean required boolean. Okay, java.lang.boolean. Boolean means what? Wrapper class.
Wrapper class.
Okay, but required what? Primitive type boolean.
Primitive. Yes, sir.
Okay. So now here, see, this is Boolean b is equal new Boolean is what, guys? That is wrapper class object, right? So now if method, the if block, what we required? True or false, right?
Yes, true or false.
Primitive Boolean type we required. I mean, primitive Boolean type value we have to pass as an argument for if block, right?
Yes,
So now, but here what we are passing now? Boolean object, okay? Boolean wrapper class object we are passing. Right? So that's why until 1.4 version, if you try to execute this piece of code, we will get what? Incompatible type. Okay, compile time error, incompatible type, found java.lang.boolean. Okay, but required what? Primitive boolean. Am I right? No. See this one, the second example, what I'm doing now? I created wrapper class object. Okay, boolean b. Fine. So now b dot boolean value, triple x value method, guys. We discussed it, right?
Yes.
Triple x
Yes,
value
sir.
method. So
Yes, sir.
now from triple x value method, when we will use, guys, if you want to convert from
Wrapper object
primitive
to
to wrapper,
primitive.
not wrapper, primitive to wrapper, right? Sorry, wrapper to
Yeah, sir.
wrapper
Primitive to
to
wrapper
primitive.
is value of. Yes, sir.
Okay, wrapper to primitive, right? So value of method, when we will use primitive to wrapper, we will use value of method. Okay, now wrapper to primitive, which method we will use? Triple X value method. Int value, byte value, char value, boolean value. Am I right? So now see b dot boolean value of boolean b1. Now I'm trying to convert what? Wrapper class object to primitive. Now if b. Now you tell me this piece of code will be fine if I execute
Fine.
this piece of code in JDK
Yes, sir.
1.4. Yes.
Fine. Valid.
Right?
Yes, sir.
So now, yeah. So no, but the same thing, if you execute in 1.5, you see, if this piece of code, if you execute in JDK 1.4, we will get what? Compile time error. Okay. So if you execute this piece of code in JDK 1.4 means what we will get? Proper output we will get. I mean, valid. This is invalid. This is valid. But if you execute these two pieces of codes in JDK 1.5, the first one also valid, the second one also valid. Okay? Why?
Yes.
We will see. Right. So now, let me write that point, then we will discuss the remaining things, guys. Right. So now, until JDK 1.4 version, we cannot provide primitive value in the place of what? Wrapper class object. Right? Wrapper objects. And wrapper object in the place of
Primitive value.
primitive. Let me admit this size. Right. So now, all required conversations should be performed explicitly by the programmer. Am I right? See, in order to execute this piece of block in JDK 1.4, what we need to do? We need to convert like this. Understand? We need to convert
sir.
like this from wrapper to primitive. Then only we can use this primitive to under if block, right? As an argument. Here B1, guys, this one.
Okay, sir.
Okay? No. But from 1.5 version onwards, 1.5 version onwards, we can provide primitive value in the place of wrapper object and wrapper object in the place of primitive value. Okay? Now, all required conversations, okay, will be performed by whom now? Automatically by the compiler. Okay, these automatic conversions are called autoboxing. Okay, autoboxing and auto-unboxing. Okay, see guys, here what I'm trying to say, now integer I is equal to 10. So can we assign primitive value to directly wrapper class object? We cannot assign, right? Because this is a primitive value, but I is what? Wrapper class object. How can we assign primitive value to object type? We cannot assign, right? So now, in order to assign this primitive value to this wrapper class object, what we need to do now? We need to use one of the methods, wrapper class methods. Right now, I want to convert primitive to wrapper class object. Am I right? So which method I have to use? Value of method I have to use. This one. Come on.
Yes, sir.
Right? So then it will be fine now. Now I will be hold what? Okay, 10 as a primitive value. It will be created one object, wrapper class object. In that wrapper class object, what is the content of that wrapper class object? I now pointing 10, value 10, right? So now, come on guys. So now here see boolean b is equal to new boolean of true. Okay. Now if I add if b here, definitely we will get what? Compile time error, incompatible types, right? Because this is boolean class object, but here which object, I mean which type it is expecting if block, always it is boolean primitive value, either true or false. Am I right? So now, now in order to pass this piece of code, what we need to do now? Before using this if block, we need to write this line of code, right? Come on,
Yes,
right?
sir. We have to
No,
primitive
we
values.
need to convert from what? Wrapper class object to Boolean type. So which method we have to use? Simplex value method.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Boolean value. In the Boolean case, Boolean value. Am I right? So now wrapper class object
Yes.
will be converted to whom now? Primitive type.
Primitive
Okay.
boolean.
Now B1 is holding what? True. Right? Now if true, it will be valid. Am I right? So now what are the required conversations here? So who is going to perform all these required conversations until 1.4? Programmer is performing. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Come on, guys. Programmer is going to perform all these required conversations. See, if you write like this, it won't compile, right? It will throw compile time error. So in order to pass this compiler, what we need to do? We need to write this piece of code. I mean, this line of code. Where? Here. Like here. See, here I need to write Boolean, right? B1 is equal to B dot Boolean value method. Am I right? So now if you write this line of code, then it will work. Right? So the required conversations who are doing now? Programmer is writing until JDK 1.4. If you write like this, okay, so then this piece of code will be compiled successfully. Come on guys, are you getting or
Yes,
not?
sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Clear,
sir.
sir.
Okay. Now, but JDK 1.5 version onwards, okay, we no need to do any conversations, guys, here. See this piece of line we have written right here. So we no need to write this piece of line. Okay, simply we can remove this one. Okay, even now also this piece of code, okay, will be compiled successfully. From where? From JDK 1.5 version
1.5.
onwards. Okay, so now here, so what is the conversation we have to do? So this is the conversation we have to write, right? From JDK 1.4 version onward, I mean until JDK 1.4, program as a programmer, explicitly we have to write that conversation. Okay, from JDK 1.5 version onwards, we no need to write any conversation. Automatically, internally, compiler will do all the required conversations behalf of
Okay,
us. Getting guys?
Yeah, getting.
yes, sir.
Okay, so now these automatic conversations are called what? Autoboxing and auto unboxing. Clear now?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
What is autoboxing now? Okay. No. We will explore now. This is high level, guys. Hope you people understood what is auto boxing, what is auto unboxing. So why the Java people, I mean the some people introduced this auto boxing. Okay. No. Auto boxing. We will explore first auto boxing. So what is the auto boxing now? Automatic conversion of primitive to wrapper object by compiler is called auto boxing. Understand?
Yes, sir.
See. No. So now there is a primitive value, guys. Okay. Now I'm keeping this primitive value into one wrapper type box. Understand? So now let's suppose this is the primitive value I have. Okay. Now I'm keeping this primitive value under where one wrapper type box like this. Okay, like this. So this is what now? Autoboxing. Understand? Now, if you remove this box, then it will become auto unboxing. Understand? So I'm keeping this primitive value into one wrapper type box. So that is called what? Autoboxing. If I remove this autoboxing, then what is the leftover value here? The primitive value. Okay. If you remove this box, then it will become what? Auto unboxing. Okay. But you should not tell, okay, this kind of, what do you call, this kind of statement in front of interviewer. For better understanding, I'm telling now. Okay. Now, so
Yes.
what is autoboxing means? Automatic conversion of primitive to wrapper object by compiler is called autoboxing. Okay. Now, this is the primitive value. Let's suppose this is the primitive value. Primitive. So now primitive to wrapper class object. Okay. Primitive to wrapper object. Okay. So now primitive to wrapper object. So the automatic conversion from primitive to wrapper object. Okay, automatic conversion of primitive to wrapper object by compiler is called what? Autoboxing. This is what, guys? Autoboxing. Okay. So directly primitive to wrapper object. Automatic conversion of primitive to wrapper object by the compiler is called autoboxing. Okay. See now here. Integer I is equal to 10. Understand? Now, if you assign like this from JDK 1.5 version onwards, it will become valid. Right? So now 10 is what? Primitive. Right? So now here the 10 value I am directly assigning to whom now? Wrapper class object. Okay. So now how the 10 value will be assigned to wrapper class object now? From primitive to wrapper object. So which method I have to take in care? Which method I have to use? Primitive to wrapper object. See, I'm assigning primitive to whom now? Wrapper class object, right? Come on,
Yes.
guys.
Yes.
Primitive to wrapper object means which method I have to use? Value of method.
Value.
Yes, sir.
Understand? So now internally the compiler will convert, okay, this 10 value to whom? Wrapper class object. How? Like this. Integer I is equal to, okay, integer dot value of 10. Okay. So this piece of code, who will write? Compiler will write. Okay. Compiler will take care internally. So the required conversation, okay, so which is required from primitive to wrapper class object, the required conversation who is going to take in care now? The compiler will take in care from JDK 1.5 version onwards. Right? Now integer I is equal to integer dot value of 10. This is valid or invalid? If I print system dot out dot println of, hi, what is the value we will get? Come on, what is the value we will get? 10.
10.
Come on, guys.
Yes, sir.
We will
Yes,
get
sir.
10 as the output. Okay, so now here this is the line of statement. Okay, so we have to write until 1.4. Okay, now from JDK 1.5 version onwards, we no need to write.
Compiler.
Okay, even if you are not writing the statement also, see, just I'm commenting this line. If you write, if I comment this line of statement, even though if I print system.out.println of I, still we will get what? 10 as an output. Right? So now the required conversation from primitive to wrapper object, who is going to take in care now? Compiler. So this is called what? Autoboxing. Understanding? The
Yes, sir.
automatic conversion of primitive to wrapper object by compiler is called what? Autoboxing. Okay? So now, yeah. So let me write the statement here, then we will forward. Automatic conversion, right? Automatic conversion of primitive to wrapper object by compiler is called what? Autoboxing. Okay, automatic conversion of primitive to wrapper object by compiler is called autoboxing. Okay, compiler converts into integer automatically by autoboxing. Understand? Compiler converts into two integer, guys. Here 10 is what? Int type, right? So now it is convert to what now? Integer. Into two integer. Who is doing this conversation automatically? By the compiler. Understand? Compiler converts int primitive data type to integer wrapper class type automatically by the autoboxing. Okay, guys?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So now, see, if you assign this integer I is equal to 10, and if you do compilation, the compiler, which statement it will place internally? This below statement it will place internally. Understand?
Yes, sir.
This is the line of statement. Compiler will place internally. Okay, after compilation, okay, so below the statement, this line of statement will be there, but it is internally, we cannot see, right? So that's why if you print system.out.println of I, you will get 10 as an output from JDK 1.5 version onwards. Okay, so this is called what? Autoboxing. Okay, now, what is auto unboxing now? Automatic conversion of wrapper object into primitive by compiler is called what? Auto unboxing. Understand? Reverse
Yes, sir.
case. Automatic conversion of wrapper object into primitive by the compiler is called what? Auto unboxing. Okay. See, what is the example for auto unboxing now? Integer I is equal to, okay, so integer dot value of 10. What I did now, I created one integer object. Am I right? Come on, guys. Okay, I created what? One wrapper class object, right? So now, what I did now, I'm taking just primitive type. Int I is equal to, I'm assigning this I. Getting what I'm saying here? Come on, guys. Please respond.
Yes, sir.
So here I created wrapper class object. Now I'm trying to assign that wrapper class object to whom now?
Primitive type.
Primitive type. Okay. Int is what? Primitive type, right? Int I.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm trying to assign wrapper class object to whom now? Primitive
Primitive.
variable.
Primitive.
Okay. Primitive variable called I. What is the primitive type here? Int. Okay. So now, right. So now here from JDK 1.5 version onwards, it will be valid. Okay. So now if I print system.out.println of I, what is the value we will receive now?
10, sir.
10 we will receive. Okay. So if you execute the same piece of code until JDK 1.4, we will get compile time error. Okay. So now, but JDK 1.5 version onwards, okay, it is a valid. So now, what is the required conversation it has to do now? See, if the same piece of code, if you want to execute until 1.4 version, so what is the conversation you have to perform? Then this piece of code will execute fine, will compile fine.
The parse exercises.
Yes, right? Parse parse triplex methods we have to use. So
From
now how to
wrapper
do
to
that now?
primitive.
Tell me that line. We completed all these things.
Yes, sir.
Huh? Int I
Integer
is
dot
equal
parse
to
Int I equals to integer dot pass int
I dot int value, right? I capital I. I dot
I dot
int
pass.
value.
Yes. Yeah.
Am I right? Come on, guys. Primitive to wrapper object to primitive. Primitive to wrapper object, which method we have to use? Value of method. Right? Now wrapper
Sir.
object to primitive, which method we have to use? Triplex value method.
Triplex value.
Right? I dot int value. So this piece of code, I mean this line of statement, okay, as a programmer, we have to write explicitly. Then only this piece of code, okay, will be compiled successfully until JDK 1.4 version. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Now I don't need to write this piece of line. Okay, even though, okay, it will compile successfully from JDK 1.5 version onwards. So now the required conversation, who is going to add now? Compiler is going to add. What is that one? This line. Understand? So now this line also will be there. But who is going to add this line? Compiler is going to add this line.
Yes, sir.
On behalf of developer. Okay. So we no need to add this line. So directly we can assign this integer wrapper object to primitive. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is called what, guys? Auto
Auto
unboxing.
unboxing.
Automatic conversion of wrapper object to primitive by the compiler is called what? Auto unboxing. Okay. Automatically this conversion will be taken care by compiler now. From JDK 1.5 version onwards. But before, as a programmer, we have to convert by writing this line. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now, now from converting, automatic converting from wrapper object to primitive. This concept is called what, guys? Auto unboxing. Right? Right. Okay. So now, primitive to wrapper object. Okay. Primitive to wrapper object. Automatic conversion of primitive to wrapper object by compiler is called autoboxing. So now internally which method compiler will use to convert primitive to wrapper object?
Integer dot value of.
Value of method. Okay. Now for auto unboxing, internally compiler which method it will use?
Parse xxx.
Okay, triple X value method. Okay, guys. Okay, this is all about auto boxing, auto unboxing. Okay, definitely this is very, very important, guys. People will ask you, okay, if you go for any kind of Java interview. Okay, now let me write one example, then you will get much clarity. Okay, now where you want me to write? Okay, let me write now here, then we will place under Eclipse IDE. No, see here. I'm writing one example. Yeah, class test. Okay, class test. Now, static integer. Okay, static integer. Let me take a. Integer a is equal to 10. Okay, now. Now, now let me take one more method. Yeah, public static void. Let me take m1 method. Method name itself m1, guys. Okay. Now here I'm taking integer b argument. Okay. Now int something. Let me take k is equal to this b. Now system.out.println of. Okay. Okay. This is the method. Now let me write main method. Public static void main string args. Okay. Now from this method, I want to call what? Okay, let me write here int here, right? So now let me take here. I want to cover all auto boxing or auto unboxing, guys. So now int a is equal to 10 already taken, right? Let me place here, then it will be 1 minute. String args integer I capital I, guys. Okay. So now here integer I. Let me take this one also. Fine. So now the main method, what I'm doing now, int I is equal to, I'm assigning, this is small I. Okay. Okay. Now here I'm calling what? M1 method by passing what now? Primitive value I. Primitive value is this I. Small I. Class close. Clear now? See, I'm taking one class test. Okay, here I'm taking static variable integer I is equal to 10. Come on, integer I is equal to 10. Okay, public static void main string args. So now I'm assigning this I value to whom now? Primitive variable I. Now I'm calling m1 of I. I'm passing primitive variable I. Okay, small I. See here, capital I for integer, primitive for small I. Okay, now public static void m1 method here what is the argument type here? Integer I.
Teacher.
Okay, now I'm assigning this integer I. Okay, I object to whom now?
K.
Primitive variable called K. Now system.out.println of K. Okay, now you tell me here, this is what, guys? If you see this one, integer I is equal to 10. What it is?
Object.
Autoboxing or auto-unboxing? I'm trying to
Auto.
assign primitive to integer class, wrapper class.
Teacher. Wrapper.
Uh,
Autoboxing.
primitive to wrapper. Autoboxing,
Autoboxing.
right? This is for autoboxing. Autoboxing, AB. Now, tell me. So here, what I'm doing now, int I is equal to I. See, I'm assigning capital I to small I, reference variable small I. So here primitive. I is what? Wrapper class object. I'm trying to assign wrapper class object to whom now?
Primitive
To
value.
variable.
Yeah.
What it is now? Autoboxing or auto-unboxing?
Auto-unboxing.
Auto-unboxing, right?
Auto
Wrapper object to
unboxing.
primitive. Auto-unboxing. Right? Auto-unboxing. AUB. Fine. Now. Now. So now M1 of I. Okay? M1 of I. So now I'm calling M1 method, guys. So which value I'm passing here? The primitive value I'm passing. Okay.
Yes.
So where is the M1 method here? Here is the M1 method. Right? From static area. Which method we can call from static area? Only static methods we can call. Right? So that's why
Yes.
what is the M1 method type here? Modifier, static modifier.
Static
So
modifier.
now M1, integer I. So now I'm calling M1 method. So here what it is? This one, see, this I value I'm passing to this integer type. So what it will be?
Autoboxing.
Yeah, autoboxing, primitive to wrapper, right? I'm trying to assign what? Primitive value to wrapper. So this is what? Autoboxing. Come on, guys. You're getting or not? Autoboxing. Okay? No. See this one? Int k is equal to I. I is what here? I is what here?
Primitive.
Wrapper class object.
Yes.
Capital I. See here.
Okay,
For
sir.
primitive, I am using small I.
Small
Okay?
I. Yes, sir.
Wrapper class object, I am using
I.
capital I.
Capital I.
Now, I'm trying to assign capital I to whom now?
Integer.
Primitive.
Variable K. So now this is what? I'm trying to assign wrapper class object to primitive variable. So this is what?
Auto-unboxing.
Unboxing. Okay? Auto unboxing. Understand now?
Yes.
Okay. So if you execute this, this program in JDK 1.4, we will get compile time errors. Okay. How many compile time errors we will have? 4 compile time errors we will have. Right? So here I'm trying to assign primitive value to wrapper class object, and here I'm trying to assign wrapper object to primitive variable. Here I'm trying to assign primitive to wrapper class object, and here I'm trying to assign wrapper class object to primitive. Right? 4. These are the 4 areas, right? So in these 4
Yes, sir.
areas, we are going to get what? Compile time error, incompatible types. Okay, until 1.4. If you execute the same program from JDK 1.5 version onwards, okay, you will not get any compile time errors. So the required conversations, who is going to take care now?
Compiler.
Compiler is going to take care. Understand? So now what is the output now? System.out.println of k?
10.
10 will be the output. Understand, guys?
Understand.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now let me execute this one. Okay, so what we have to understand now? Okay, so in the place of primitive, directly we can use wrapper class object. In the place of wrapper class object, directly we can use primitive. Okay, from 1.5 version onwards, we can use primitives and wrapper objects. Okay, interchangeably, right? Am I right or wrong?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So now let me create one project. One minute, guys. My system is having right. Java project. What is the project name? Autoboxing something. Autoboxing demo or something. Finish. Here, let me create what package. com.tech.station dot autoboxing. Right here, let me take one Java class. What is the class name? Autoboxing demo. Okay, I need what? Main method too. Right? Now see. So now here I'm taking one static variable, right? Static integer. Okay, integer I is equal to something 10. Right? Now public static void main. From the main method, what I'm doing now, I'm taking primitive variable int I, small I is equal to, okay, this capital I am trying to assign. Okay, now from here I'm calling what? M1 method. Okay, by passing this primitive variable. Now let me create M1 method. So public static, okay, public static void M1 method. So here I'm passing what? Integer as an argument. Integer. Yeah. Okay, integer I. No. Right. So now here what I'm doing now, I'm taking one primitive variable int a is equal to, I'm trying to assign this I. Okay. Sysout, I'm trying to print k. So I need to close main method, right? Fine. So this is the main method. Not required this one. Clear now? See,
Yes.
okay, did you get any compile time error? You did not. Because the required conversation, who is going to take care now? Internally, the compiler. Okay. Now, if I print this run as Java application, what is the output we will get? 10. Come on. Okay. Now it is valid, right? But if the same program, if you execute in until JDK 1.4, we will get 4 compile time errors. Okay. Now, see. Now, let me write one more class here. Okay. So now, let me take here, guys. You have to tell the answer. Let me write in Notepad++ directly. Language Java, right? Now see, here I'm writing class test. I'm writing. Okay, in the class test static variable I'm taking integer. Okay, I is equal to 10 value I'm taking. Okay, not 10. Let me take 0. Okay, now public static void main method I'm taking string dogs. Okay, now here int k is equal to, I'm trying to assign this I. Now system dot out dot println of k. Okay, now let me take one more example here. This is test T capital, right? Now here class name is demo. Okay, now here see static integer I. I'm not assigning anything. Okay, now public static void main string dogs int k is equal to I. Now system dot out dot println of k. Okay, now you tell me what is the output of this first one, guys. In the first example, if you see class test, static integer I is equal to 0. I'm assigning what? 0 value to whom now? Integer I. This is what? Autoboxing. Primitive to wrapper. Right?
Wrapper class.
Trying
Yes,
to
sir.
assign what? Primitive value to directly wrapper class object. I can assign. Internally, the autoboxing will be taken care by whom? Compiler. Right? Fine. So now I'm taking one main method. Now I'm trying to assign what now? This wrapper class object to again primitive value. So internally, what it will perform? Auto unboxing will be performed by compiler. Am I right?
Yes.
Now system dot
Yes,
out
sir.
of k means you will receive what?
0.
0.
0.
Right? Fine. So now here if you see integer I. Okay, so now internally here, so which operation will be performed, guys? In this scenario, integer I is equal to 0. Internally, what is the conversation will be happened?
Primitive to wrapper.
Compiler, primitive to wrapper. Primitive to wrapper means value of method, right? Integer I is equal to integer dot value of 0. That is the line, right? Internally will be placed by whom? Compiler.
Compiler.
Right? So now here what is the line it will be placed by compiler internally? Behalf of us.
Int
I'm trying to assign wrapper class object to primitive. Wrapper object to primitive. Which method?
int value method. Triple X
Int value method.
Yes.
Right? Int k is equal to I dot int
Int
value.
value of.
Okay, int value method. So now see. Right. So now if you see this one, okay, now integer I. Okay, so now this I is which type?
Object type, sir.
Reference
Object type. This is reference type, right? This
Yes.
is
Yes,
static variable. So now here, am I assign any default value here?
No,
No.
sir.
I
No,
did not
sir.
assign. If you are not assigning any default value, then who will place default value to this I?
Yeah.
Huh? Who will place? JVM will place, right? So that's what we discussed while discussing instance variable and static variable. Right? JVM will place
Yes, sir.
default value. Now, what is the default value for this I now?
0.
0.
Yes,
Hmm? This
sir.
I, what is the type of this I?
Reference type.
Object.
Class type, right? This is not a primitive type. This is the class type. For the object type, what is the default value?
Null.
Null. Null is the default value.
Yes, sir.
primitive value, there is a default values. If it is a int type, what is the default value? 0. If you are not
Zero.
assigning anything, JVM will assign 0. If it is a float type, what is the default value? 0.0.
0.0.
0.0f, right?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Come on, guys.
Yes, yes,
Yes, sir.
For the Boolean type, for the Boolean primitive type, what is the default value will be assigned by JVM if you are not assigning?
False.
False. But this integer is a primitive type or object type?
Object type.
Object type.
Object type. For object type, what is the default value? If you are not
Null.
assigning, null will
Null
be
value.
assigned by the JVM. Right? Now, I
Yes.
is holding which value now? Null. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Right? So now this is what now? Okay, integer I is equal to null. Fine. Now the public static void means string args. Now I'm trying to assign this wrapper object to whom now? Primitive variable. Right? So now wrapper to primitive, which method we will internally will call?
Duplex value method.
Int value, right?
Int value.
So now how it will be? Int k is equal to, right? Object dot int value method. Am I right?
Hmm.
So this
Yes,
is the
sir.
line of code will be placed by whom? Compiler.
Compiler
Right?
will be list.
So now I dot int value. Right? So now I is, what is the I value is holding now?
Null value.
Null. So now null dot int value. Now if you call any method on null reference, what will be the output?
Null pointer exception.
Null pointer.
Null pointer
Null
exception we
pointer
will get.
exception.
Yes.
Understand? By using null reference, if you invoke any kind of method or any kind of variable, what is the end of the output now? Null pointer exception. Right? So now,
Yes.
what is the output here? Runtime exception called null pointer exception. Understand?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, like that, people will ask you guys. Okay. So let me execute now. Where is project here, right? Let me create one class. What is the class? Tester. Test main method we need. Okay. So let me copy. Right? Control it. Here happily we will get output as 0. Fine. Now, the same way here I'm not assigning what? Any value. Right? Now, if I'm trying to print now, java.lang null pointer exception. Clear, guys?
Yes,
Yes,
clear.
sir. Yes.
Let me copy this into notes. Okay, fine. So now, see, integer x is equal to 10. No. Integer y is equal to x. Okay, guys, understand?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now see, integer x is equal to 10. Yeah, integer y is equal to x. So now x plus plus Okay. Now system.out.println of x and system.out.println of y. Okay. Now system.out.println of x double is equal to y. Okay, fine. Tell me what is the output now here?
So, x
10.
up to 11.
That 11, 10,
11.
11,
X
10,
X1.
10.
10.
False, sir.
Yes.
False, huh?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
X equal to 11, y equal to 11, so equal to true.
What is the output? System.out.println of x, y, and x double is equal to y.
11, 10, and false, sir.
Why false?
Because x is 11 and y is 10, no, sir.
So that's why it's false, huh? So
No,
we are
sir.
comparing
No,
primitive
sir.
types, huh?
It
We are
is
references,
See,
sir.
integer, these are not primitives. Okay, this is wrapper classes. Primitives are different, wrapper classes are different. This is objects, not primitives, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This is not integer. It's a class,
Integer,
wrapper
integer,
class.
sir. Yes, sir.
Please tell me the answer by keeping objects in your mind, not primitives. Okay? See, now, okay. So let me explain. Integer x is equal to 10. So here what I'm trying to assign what primitive value to wrapper class object. Okay. So now what will happen? One wrapper class object is created. Am I right? What is the value? What is the content of this wrapper class object? 10.
10.
Right? Now reference variable x is
X.
representing this wrapper class object. Am I right?
yes, sir.
Right. So now integer y is equal to x. Right? See, integer y is equal to x. So now again one more reference variable y representing
Created.
same object.
Correct.
Am I
Yes,
right?
sir.
Integer y is equal to x, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm assigning this x object to y now. Okay. Now x and y are representing the same object. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Now
sir.
tell me. Now tell me what is the output now.
True. It's x.
Both are referring to the same object. So it will be true.
Right. So now x plus plus. Right. Here what I'm trying to do.
Post increment.
I'm trying to increment the x value.
Yes,
right?
sir.
So now what is the x is representing 10. Now
10.
I'm trying to change the value of this object. Okay. Now I'm trying to change the value of this object from 10 to 11. Right. So now I think already we discussed, guys. Wrapper class objects are immutable in nature or mutable in nature?
Immutable.
Immutable, right? Please remember, we discussed already while discussing, okay, string is immutable class. So that time, I think already we discussed, right? String
Yes, sir.
class and all the wrapper classes in the Java are immutable, right? So what is the immutable nature?
You cannot change it.
What is the immutable?
You cannot change it.
Changeable. It is.
Once we create an object, okay, we cannot change the value of that object. I mean, content of that object, right? If you are trying to perform any change in the content,
New object
with
is
the
created.
change, new object will be created.
Created. Yes, sir.
Right. So now here what we are trying to do now?
Increment.
We are trying to change the value of this x. from 10 to 11. So now we are changing the content. We are trying to change the content, right? So with that change, what will happen?
New object
New
is
object
created
will be created.
as 11.
Okay. So now what is the value now?
11.
11.
With the change, new object will be created. Now x is not representing this one now. This x will be representing whom now?
Removed 11.
11. Clear now?
Yes,
Now,
sir.
what is the system.out.println of x now?
11.
11.
11. What is the system.out.println of y now?
10.
10. Now, what is system.out.println of x w is equal to y?
False.
False. Right? Why
Yes, sir.
Yes,
false?
sir.
Because
Because
x is representing
both
different
the
object, y is
different
representing
objects.
different object.
different object.
Okay. Now I am trying to compare by using w is equal to operator. So by using w is equal to operator, what we will compare? How can we compare two
Reference.
objects? Based on address of these objects, right? Reference number of these objects. Every object in Java has what? Unique reference number.
Reference
So
number.
10 is having something different reference number, and this I mean the y object is having something different reference number, and x object having something different reference number. Now these two reference numbers are what? Equal or different? Different. Different means what?
Different.
False.
False.
Clear now?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
So like this, okay, questions will come. They will not ask directly what is autoboxing, what is auto unboxing. Okay. People are not directly asking what are definitions of the okay things. All all wrapper objects are wrapper objects are what? Immutable. Immutable in nature. Okay. So that's mean what? Once we
Create an object.
a wrapper object,
It cannot be changed.
right? We cannot perform any change or else. Okay, we cannot perform
Any
any
changes.
in the existing object. Okay, we cannot change anything in the existing object. So if you are trying to change with those changes,
New object is created.
okay, a new object will be created. Okay, this is called what, guys? Immutable. Right? All string
Yes, sir.
class and all wrapper classes are immutable. Clear now? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Let me give you a few more things, guys. Then we will wind up the class. Okay. Let me provide some more examples here. Let me take some space. See, now integer x is equal to new integer, okay, 10. Right? Now, integer y is equal to new integer of 10. Okay? System.out.println of x w is equal to y. Okay? This is the first example. No. The second one. Integer x is equal to new integer of the same 10. Okay, now integer y is equal to 10. Right? Now system.out.println of x double is equal to y. Okay? Now the third example. Integer x is equal to 100. Okay? Integer y is equal to 100. Okay, guys? Now system.out.println of x double is equal to y. Okay, fine. So now one more example. Integer x is equal to 3 examples, right? I have written. Yeah. Integer x is equal to 10. Integer not required. I think already we have taken, right? Fine. So now let me give integer x is equal to 1000. No. Integer integer y is equal to again 1000. Okay. Now system.out.println of x w is equal to y. Tell me, guys, what is the output now in these 4 scenarios? Tell me the first scenario, what is the output? Okay, tell me the output, tell me, then we will discuss one by one. This is false. Okay, here, what is the output?
True.
True?
Yes, sir.
What is the output here? Tell me, guys.
True, sir.
True. Here, the third one.
True. True.
True.
True. Fourth one.
False.
False.
Third one true, fourth one false. Huh?
Both are
True, sir.
true.
Fourth one false.
Why false? So why the first one is false, guys? The first example.
Different objects are created.
Right. So now here, by using new operator, we are trying to create object, right? So when you use new operator, then new object will be created, right? So x is pointing one object. Okay, what is the content of that object? 10.
10.
Right? Where this object will be going to create in the heap area, right? Now integer y is equal to new integer of 10. When you use new operator, by using that operator, we are going to create, that new object will be created. So always that new object, where it will be placed, guys, under heap area, right? So now, and integer y is equal to new integer, and one more new object will be created. Now we are trying to compare what x w is equal to y. Obviously, x w is equal to y will become what? False, right? So x is holding different object, y is holding something different object, right? So these two objects having what? Different reference numbers. So if you try to compare those reference numbers, obviously it will give what? False. The first one is clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Exactly.
Come on, guys.
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
Yes.
Now the second one. See now in the second one.
నీ ఫోన్ మాకేం తెలుస్తుంది
Phone.
Sweta.
Sweta, na?
Triveni, sir.
Fine. The second one. See the second one. Integer x is equal to new integer of 10. Okay. Integer x is equal to new integer of 10.
One object will be created in heap. One object
will be created, right? So now
Yes, sir.
this is what? 10.
10.
Okay. So now what is the reference variable it is holding?
X.
X. Right? Fine.
Yes.
Now integer y is equal to 10. So auto boxing, right? So by using auto boxing, we are creating what? One object. Right? Who will create object here?
Compiler, sir.
Through autoboxing. Compiler will create object wrapper class object through autoboxing. Right?
Yes, sir.
So here also 10. But now, what is the reference variable now? Y.
Y.
Okay?
But Y will refer.
Right? Now, x double is equal to y. What is the output now? X double is equal to y. What is the output? False, right?
False.
Because x is pointing something different object, y is pointing something different object. This x object is created by using new operator. This y object is created
Compiler.
internally by using autoboxing. Compiler will create this y object internally. Okay? I mean, autoboxing. Understand? I mean, JVM only will create obviously objects. Okay, right? So, but internally compiler will place the required conversation. Okay? So, due to that, okay, this y object will be created. Am I right? So now x is pointing something different, y is pointing something different. Come on, guys.
Yes, sir.
So now x double is equal to y means what? Obviously false. In Java, every object has what guys? Unique reference number, right? So let's suppose this is what? 1001. So what is the reference number for this object? Let's suppose 1002. Now 1001 double is equal to 1002.
No, sir.
1 double is equal to 2. No, right? False,
No,
right?
sir.
So that's what we will get false here. Now tell me in this example. Integer x is equal to 100. Integer y
False,
is equal to
sir.
100. X
False.
double is equal to y.
False.
False.
False, sir? But here true.
True.
Okay.
True.
Why true? So now
False,
integer x
sir.
is equal to 100. Okay. The output will be true. Let me explain. Integer x is equal to 100. Right. So now here one object will be created. What is the object now? What is the content of the object now? 100. Okay. Now, so what is the reference variable it is representing? X. Right. So now this object, how this object will be created? By using new operator or by using autoboxing?
By using
By using
autoboxing.
autoboxing. Right. Now again, integer y is equal to 100. Okay. Now this one also trying to create what? One object by using what? Autoboxing.
Autoboxing.
Right?
Yes, sir.
So when it is trying to create a new object with the autoboxing, then first JVM will go and verify. Is there any object with the same content already been created by autoboxing or not? Understand? So already one object is created, right? Through
Yes.
autoboxing. What is the content of this object? 100.
100.
Right? So now again it is trying to create what? One object with the same content. Now JVM will not create any new object. Okay. So JVM will try to use what? Existing object, because the same content with the same content already one object has been created by JVM by using autoboxing process. Right? The same object now will be reused. Clear now?
Yeah, clear.
Yes, sir.
Right. So now y is representing what now?
Same 100.
Same object. Okay. Now that's why system.out.println of x double is equal to y. What is the output? It will be true or false?
True, sir. True.
True. Because x and y representing same object. Right. So now let's suppose x reference number 1001. I mean this object reference number 1001. So x also representing same object reference 1001 and y also representing same object reference number y is 10001. So both are same, right? So that's what would be the output here? True.
Bro, can you please
Here
explain
now?
the second? Could you please explain the second scenario?
The second scenario, that's what. See here, integer x is equal to 100, right? Here, one object will be created. So in the first line, integer x is equal to 100, how the object will be created here? Who is
No.
creating this object? Through
New operator.
auto-boxing process, one object is created, right?
Okay.
What is the content of this object? 100. What is the reference variable it is representing this object now? X.
Yes.
Clear?
Okay.
No. If you see the second statement, integer y is equal to 100, right? So now in this process also, now JVM trying to create what? One object. How? By using new operator or auto-boxing processor? By using auto-boxing process, right? So now before creating object, JVM will go and verify is there any object with the same content already been created by using auto-boxing process or not? Okay. So do we created any object with the same content through auto-boxing process? Yes, right. Already this object is created, right? X is representing this object. So now instead of creating new object, simply JVM will refer what? The same object. So that's why Y is representing the same object. Clear now?
Okay.
Come on. Someone is asked, right? Clear?
Yes, bro. Yes, bro. But in the second scenario, you are explaining the third
Second
one.
example, sir.
Second example. Sorry.
Second example, huh? This one, huh?
Yes,
Yes,
bro.
sir.
Oh, this one you're asking. So here integer x is equal to new integer. Here we created object. How we are created object? By using new operator. So here we are not creating object by using auto-boxing process. Am I right? So always if you create new operator, so always the object where it will be created under heap area directly. Right? So now
Okay.
integer y is equal to 10. So now here also we are creating object. Now how we are creating this object now? Through auto-boxing process.
Okay.
Understand? So here also one object is created. Y is representing this object. Okay. Now x is representing something different object. Y is representing something different object. Now x double is equal to y. Always it will be give what? False only. Because these two objects are not same.
This means whenever we are using a new keyword, that time the new object will be created in the heap memory. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay? No. No.
So
No.
we are using auto-boxing concept, that is creating object, but that also in the same heap memory. Am I right?
Yeah, heap area only. See, I mean these objects. See, wrapper class. All the wrapper classes will be created, but here the object is created by using auto-boxing process.
Okay.
Okay. But their object is created by using new operator.
Okay.
Okay. Right. So if the content is same, then only see here 100 and 100.
Okay.
Okay. If the content is same and already your object is created by using auto-boxing process, and you are trying to create one more object with the same content through auto-boxing process, so that time the same object will be reused. The JVM will not create any new object.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. Now, so now what is the next one? This one. What is the output here?
False.
Why Vignesh false? I just now explained, not true, right? Why you are saying false?
Same answer.
Huh?
The value range 120 up to
Range,
120.
sir.
What range?
Integer range.
Autoboxing.
What is the integer range? Just try to execute this one, guys. Okay. So tomorrow we will see. Just try to execute this one, this piece of code in your laptops and see what is the output. Okay.
Yes.
Tomorrow, okay, I will give you the in detail explanation on this. We cannot complete now. Okay. Here output will be false, guys, not true. Okay. Output will be false. Okay. How it will be false, I will explain tomorrow. Okay, guys?
Okay.
Okay, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.